A WWE star is pulled from TV after a botched NXT angle. Plus, an ex-world champion is planning an AEW in-ring return. And what did The Undertaker say to Bray Wyatt? It's all in the wrestling news right now. Toxic Attractions Division was the headline of NXT on Tuesday night. In that episode of Ding Dong Hello, we saw Gigi Dolin treated like a parcel by an every driver, just hoyed into a door and booted in the face. Pretty horrible. It was that second boot was really buried in there.
I thought it was fantastic.
It was great.
You know what I mean?
Was great.
It was really well executed. I feel like if that had gone down on main roster WWE TV 20 years ago, people would end up talking about it in a similar way to like the barbershop and everything. It was so well executed. And I know it went a little bit wrong, but actually it's one of those things where the fact that it was a bit botched, if you want to call it that, made it better because it was so brutal.
So which part was botched? Well, the door was meant to be a lot more gimmicks than it was. And the plan was going to be that Gigi was going to be thrown basically through the door, a la a barbershop window. Hopefully with Bobby Heenan's ghost popping up going, she tried to escape. But the door was much stronger than anticipated. So
those Yale locks. You don't mess with them, honestly.
Yeah, all hail Yale. And then as she was on the ground, not having gone through the table, a sort of a plan was formulated on the spot to go, I tell you what, I'll just boot her through the door, which is what the plan was. Give enough oomph and she'll go flying through the door.
Oh, she gave some oomph.
She gave some oomph.
Gave some oomph.
But the irresistible force met the immovable object. The door didn't move. And Gigi's cheek, look at the state. Just, bruised to obligatory after that one. Now, this has led to her being pulled from TV, hasn't it?
It certainly has. Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Live saying Gigi Dolin is fine, which is wonderful to hear, obviously, because it was a really good kick. She got thrown into a door that didn't open. She got a face smashed in between a foot and a door that didn't open. She's tough and she's done a lot of matches, and I guess it looked worse than it was. Yeah, pretty bad. They're doing an injury angle, so she's not going to be on TV for a few weeks to sell what looked like a practically career-ending injury. All right, calm down. I'm going to have fun. No, it was so good. And you know what? This is actually the right shout, because when she comes back, the pop is going to be big. It's going to be really, really big for her, and it feels like this is a rivalry now that is getting off to a really, really hot start. So don't give it to her straight away. It's the right call to keep her off telly for a couple of weeks for sure.
I think, as you say, like in this botch, as we've called it, something special has happened. I think Gigi's going to have so much more babyface sympathy fire when she comes back for it. I think you kind of accidentally made a superstar there. I think people kind of there was a lot of comparisons made with the barbershop.
Yeah.
Obviously, super kick into the door on a chat show, and obviously Shawn Michaels is watching that going, I remember doing that. I understood that reference. And everyone went, oh, is this Gigi Dolin getting Marty Jannetti'd? I think it's like you could spin this the other way.
No, this is Gigi getting Becky lynched with getting punched by Nia Jax, isn't it? This is something that's gone a little bit wrong, but actually is going to make the whole thing a lot better, and people are going to get behind her as a result of this. This is going to be the best kick in the face she's ever had. Seriously.
Quoted, stamp it. Let's talk Paul White. What's so funny? We love Paul White here. He's a lovely man.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So he was interviewed by metro.co.uk. It's the free newspaper you get on the buses. And he was asked about his injury setbacks and his current diagnosis for return. And he said his knee was bad for 12 years. Could have gone any day. Kind of like that tyre on your car that you know you should change, but you keep driving anyway. We're good now. Hopefully back in the ring in March. Everything's on schedule. We're looking good.
I feel sorry for Paul White, right? Because he left WWE because they were like, right, we're going to use you very sparingly to put people over. And then Big Show is like, no, I've still got gas in the tank and all that. I want to do more. So he goes off to AEW, and then like the injury that he's had forever gets a little bit worse, and he hasn't really been able to do all of the cool stuff that he thought he was going to do. What do you want to see him do? Like, let's say he's 100% again. A man his age. There's still a lot to give there, just because of, like, he's the Big Show. He's a really, really big star. He's been on the Big Show. And what do you think he should be doing at this point in his career?
Well, we've teased that Captain Insano thing on AEW, and I kind of want to see that, how that pays off. So this was the character that he played in the movie The Waterboy that apparently Tony Khan and or AEW now have the rights to. So there was talk a while ago about doing something with Captain Insano. I think he's appeared in the Captain Insano attire before now.
Yeah.
But certainly have have a match as Captain Insano. It's certainly do something fun there.
It's fun, but it probably only appeals to 20% of the people watching. I love that film, by the way. I'm a really, really big fan of like early Adam Sandler's. Great. But there's no longevity there. You're not going to get a good Captain Insano run.
Oh, no. And this is the thing. I know you said like, when the tail end of Big Show's career was like, you're just here just to put other people over. And I kind of see him doing that in AEW. I feel like, have him a match with MJF. And have MJF do something that just cripples him.
Yeah, I love it.
Like that's a cool moment. That's a cool moment that doesn't require too much.
Yep, totally. He's at that point in the career that WWE were probably actually making the right call there. There's a lot to get from lots of young, hungry, generally heels toppling an angry giant, right?
Exactly. AEW news on the international front. ESPN announcing that they are going to be hosting episodes of Dynamite in Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands. So this is a big get for AEW. I don't think they've had any true consistent coverage on that side of the world, so I think this is a big deal for Australia and New Zealand. Will probably open the door for AEW doing some business down under.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they've got the DAZN thing, haven't they? But that they need to find a bloody streaming deal in the US. That's what they're looking for. That's what they've been after for ages. And apparently they're nowhere near doing that. So yeah, congratulations if you're down under.
Where women roll and men thunder.
Men at work. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah. I love that. It took me a minute. Sorry. Yeah.
That's all right.
Good for them. It's cool.
It's a banger of a tune. I kind of saw this coming a little bit, so I'm glad that it's happening. WWE announcing yesterday that ahead of Money in the Bank in London at the O2, the O2 will also host SmackDown on the Friday night.
Nice.
I'm glad that we're getting a live SmackDown on the Friday night before Money in the Bank. That's fun.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really good, isn't it? Like for Americans, they generally, when they have done this in the past, they pre-record a few hours before. Touch up a little bit in the edit sometimes as well. They're a bit naughty, but no, that's awesome. If you go into Money in the Bank and you've just you've already got your hotel booked the night before, you can go along and see SmackDown as well. It's class, isn't it?
I really hope that we get a black cab and a phone box on the stage.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't matter where they are in the UK as well. They always pop that up.
I really hope that they do it in Wales just for fun. Here we are in Wales. Here's a London black cab. They didn't. Sadly, they did their research. That made me sad. How's Jerry Lawler doing, Adam? How's he doing?
Bit of an update on Jerry Lawler from the King himself. On Jerry's Twitter, it's noted that he's moved from ICU and as of now being discharged tomorrow, so today, to return to his Florida home for outpatient rehab for his limited speech and cognitive skills. Doctors are hopeful for a full recovery. Jerry's looking forward to returning to his fans very soon. That's terrifying because he's going to get back in the ring sooner rather than later. He's Randy the Ram, isn't he?
He is Randy the Ram.
He really is. Like he still wrestles on a pretty consistent basis. And you know what? This is going to sound horrible, but if that's what makes him happy, then crack on. It's his life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see anyone die in the ring, obviously, but actually, it's clear that that's what he loves doing, and he probably will Randy the Ram himself. But if that's how he wants to go, that's how he wants to go, right? But I hope he doesn't anytime soon. Also, sending our love to Jerry Lawler, obviously. Yeah,
long live Randy the Ram. Now, let's end on something from Raw 30, which is the last time that we saw...
This is so funny. This is
Jerry
so
Lawler,
funny.
Ironically.
Right, the Undertaker Bray Wyatt thing. Everybody was trying to guess what Undertaker whispered in Bray Wyatt's ear. Bray Wyatt, I think he spoke to media, but he definitely said, that's something that's going to die with me and Mark Calloway. Undertaker's told everyone. Undertaker's just gone on Sportsnet and said exactly what he said. And I don't believe a word of it, by the way, so maybe he's working us. So he was promoting his upcoming one-man show in Montreal. Then they asked about the Wyatt, what was said. And Mark said that he went, I just let him know that my phone's always on. If he needs to talk to me about things or run things by me, that's cool. I'd be more than glad to share my experiences with him and hopefully shine some light on questions that he has moving forward. It was a cool moment and did exactly what I thought it would do. It didn't go on that long, did it?
No.
It's a few words.
Exactly what I thought it would do.
I think that's... I'm not sure I believe it. But
so he leaned in, apparently, and went, my phone's always on if you ever want to have a chat.
Yeah, if it goes to voicemail, just ring us back.
Keep ringing.
Yeah, you can text us or text the wife as well. Michelle, she picks up better than me because I'm in the bath a lot. So...
Why is the Undertaker in the bath a lot?
Well, because he's too tall for the shower, isn't he?
It's getting
I guess baths are harder actually to get in here because I'm a tall guy and I have to bend my legs up.
Do you not? Would you not have like a tall? I guess it depends on the structure of the
I'm
building.
6'4". I'm not the Undertaker. Are you asking if I've got a special bath or shower put in? Are you taking the piss?
How'd you take that? Do you have a special one of those fitted as well?
Like man with a kiss.
We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you, piss.